everybody, and welcome back to AllisonTV. So today, guys, we're talking about dating and hookups. We're going to be talking about how long each phase should last and what should go on in each phase, from casual dating, talking, dating, engaged, and marriage. We're going to be going through the list. We getting to the bottom of it today. But before we get started, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So, casually dating. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe nobody nothing but the truth in this phase. Don't be stringing nobody along or making them think that you want something that you don't want. Let them know what you want and what you don't want, but at the same time, don't feel obligated because they knew what it was going into it, you know? Men are allowed to be a future. No. Don't be getting everybody out here pregnant. Safe sex. But men are allowed to be on their future or their Diddy. And women are allowed to be on their Lori Harvey. You don't owe nobody nothing. You ain't got to explain nothing. Your love life is your love life. Should nobody be worried about it if they ain't in your bed. If they ain't paying your bills in your bed, putting anything in your mouth. They shouldn't be worried about what you're doing and who you do it with. Casual date for as long as you want to. There is no time period on this. If you don't ever want to get married and you don't ever want to settle down and you don't ever want a family and you don't ever want to do, if that's just not you, that's just not you. And don't nobody have to force you to do any of those things, because once you are forced into it, you live a very unhappy life that is hard to get out of, because now there's children involved, there's feelings involved, you've built stuff with this person. Just don't worry about it. Do you, boo-boo? Talking stage. You aren't necessarily committed to this person unless you're talking to me. You committed. You committed from day one. But you owe this person a certain level of loyalty. And by loyalty, I don't mean that, you know, you're just fully committed to this person. You can't talk to this person, that person, that person. But you owe this person explanations. You owe this person honesty. You owe this person a little bit more than like what you owe someone that you're casually dating. All talking means is, I found something that piques my interest and let me see where this could go in the future. Doesn't mean that I'm committed to dating you or being your boyfriend, being your girlfriend, but it means I'm interested. I like what I see. There's qualities there that I would like in a lifetime partner. Let's get to know each other. This is the stage where I get to know you to make sure you're not crazy and make sure I'm not making a horrible decision in case I decide to date you. This is the stage where you're really trying to impress that other person. You care what they think of you. You care of their impression of you, and vice versa. You're paying attention to the little things. Talking should last no more, to me, than 3 months. Or there's some cases where 6 months. I'd say 6 months. On average, 3 months, maximum 6 months. You don't need to be in a talking stage with nobody for 2 years. I'm talking to you. Don't let nobody sit here and make you think that they still trying to get to know you after 2 or 3 years of talking to you.
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois, but thank you for asking.
Boy, at this point, you my cousin. I'm not gonna sit here and wait on you. What do you want? Talking stage is really like the waiting period of seeing, are we going to casually date? Are we going to date? Because if we're gonna casually date, I need to know before I let all my minions go. When to know to get out of the talking stage is when you feel like you're wasting your time. If you see things about this person that you don't like and you don't think this person is dating material or necessarily not your type, then get out. Let that person know, this ain't for me, I'm not feeling it, sorry. But if you feel like you're the only one making an effort and the only one trying to move towards dating, if you've been feeling like you've been talking for too long, get out. You're in the talking stage, so it's important to communicate, but just get out. If you feel like this person isn't honestly communicating with you, then you're not in the talking stage. You're in the casual dating stage. Granted, men aren't the best communicators, But I feel like when you are really interested in a woman, you don't let her slip away. She doesn't have to guess where your feelings are. You like her, you gonna let her know. You're not gonna take a chance at her going back to her minions. That's not an option. The dating stage. If you have made it to this stage, and this means you have ignored all red flags, you don't care about their flaws, you don't care about any of that, you're saying that this is my person. Don't touch my person. It's my person, not yours. I'll cut you. When you are dating someone, you owe this person all of your loyalty. You have basically put a title on it and said that this is my person, and once this person is your person, then they don't need to be all worried about other persons, and no other persons need to be worried about y'all. At this point, you have accepted this person's past for what it was. Y'all are together, y'all are on the same mindset, y'all want the same things. You are working towards building something. This is somebody that you could see yourself in the long haul with. You're not sure about it, but that's what it is for now. How long should you date before you get engaged? Honestly, I feel like everybody should move at their own pace, but I definitely feel like when you're dating somebody, you need to let it be known, like, look, listen, I'm not trying to be a forever girlfriend. I want to be married. I want certain things. Not saying that you have to put that person on a time frame, but you need to let it be known. I'm not waiting 5 to 10 years for you to ask me to marry you. It's okay to let that be known. And if you don't want to be married, if you don't want marriage, if you don't want those things and you just want to date, this is the stage that you let that be known. I'm not really trying to get married. I don't really want kids. I just want to go with the flow and live life. Not really looking for permanent commitment. I just want to live in the moment. Certain people feel that way, and that's fine. They don't feel like they need a piece of paper to bind them together. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion and have, you know, their own life. It's not my place to judge you. But if you're more into traditional morals, that's okay too, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for that. Ain't nothing wrong with being old school. Let that person know, I'm not moving in with you until we're married. Let that person know, I don't want to have sex with you until we're married. Because there's nothing wrong with it. But anyways, I would say on average, I wouldn't really want to be dating anybody more than 4 years and marriage hasn't come up or been discussed. For some people feel like 2 years, and some people feel like, you know, when you know. There's people who meet each other all the time and they're married within a year and they have very successful marriages, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people feel like there's a certain amount of time that you must wait before you get married. Reasonably, men will tend to want to be financially stable before they commit to marrying someone, because they feel like they need to be able to provide for a household before they get married. Me personally, I feel like if I'm willing to marry you before you're financially stable, then what does it matter? Just because you get married doesn't mean you have to immediately create a household or create a family. You can still continue to build in a marriage. You don't have to necessarily be completely established to be in a marriage. Some men, I feel like, think that way because of security reasons. They think about, okay, well, what if it doesn't work out and she's going to be entitled to this, and that. Whatever. Like I said, move at your own pace. Move at your own pace. But for me personally, I think no longer than 4 years. I completely understand the 2-year thing, but like I said, with the way that men think, I wouldn't want to pressure anybody into marrying me. And typically, most men think that way. And there's nothing wrong with getting yourself established before marriage, but it's not a necessity. It's not something that you have to, because I feel like you should enter a marriage trusting that person and not feeling like it's going to end. I'm not saying don't be precautious. I'm not saying, you know, that it's impossible, but I don't think that you should enter a marriage with that mindset. Engagement. I feel like an engagement is just one step further on the ladder than dating. It's saying I want to marry you one day. Just because a man proposed to you don't mean he's trying to marry you just because he proposed to you. Some men will propose to you and still want to wait until they're financially established before they marry you. And you have to let it be known, because I feel like that's still a forever girlfriend. I'm not trying to be engaged to you for 5 years before we finally tie the knot. I feel like a typical engagement lasts about a year and a half. But 2 years isn't too far-fetched. Especially because some people don't get married right away because they want a really, really big wedding. Or they have a really, really big family. And that stuff costs money. Me personally, I would go to a courthouse and get it all done and stuff. Simply because I'd rather have a nicer honeymoon. And then maybe 2 more years down the line, have a public wedding for my family and friends to be a part of. Having an initial big wedding isn't necessary. You don't have to have a big wedding. A big wedding does not define your marriage. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be traditional. It's just 2 people coming together to showcase their love for their family and their friends. And you're not even obligated to do that, because that's the love that you share with this person. You're committing yourself to this person. This person is now your family. And you two, whether you have kids or not, you are now a household. And your household comes first. Anybody who ain't a part of that household has no say-so or input on how that household is run or the decisions that y'all make to make you guys happy. Because when times get tough, it's just going to be you and that person. You and that person have to work through that marriage. Nobody else is going to be a part of that marriage. But yeah, through all of these, I think you should move at your own pace or whatever makes you and your partner happy. But on average, I ain't trying to be engaged for more than a year and a half. I'm not trying to be engaged for more than 2 years. It's an average. But if we got to do a little courthouse thing, let's get it on. Because like I said, I'd rather have a really, really nice honeymoon. Some people rather have the big wedding and then later on down the line go on the honeymoon. I care more about the honeymoon. I want to enjoy my time with my significant other more than sharing that love with everybody else. Might be selfish, but you gotta do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, everybody ain't happy for you anyway. Marriage. People, please understand. When you are married, you are 100% loyal to that person. Don't nobody else come above that person. Don't nobody else's opinion matter. Nothing like that. And a marriage should last forever. Not saying that you should feel bad if it doesn't. Not saying that you should stay just because you're married if you're unhappy. If things just aren't working out, baby, get out. Because that's your happiness at the end of the day. Don't compromise your happiness because of what you're scared of, what others might think of you or whatever. Like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. But if you are going to commit yourself with somebody, you need to be able to visualize, okay, this is the person I want to be with forever. You should not be going into a marriage like, you should not be going into a marriage with the same mindset that you have during the talking stage or the dating stage. Like, oh, well, we'll see what happens. No. You need to be certain that this is what you want. You are making serious vows to this person. And you need to be able to abide by them. And you need to have the mindset of, this is the person I want to be with forever. And ever. And ever. So don't go into getting married and thinking, oh, well, we'll see how it is after a year. Because a lot of people say, oh, the first year is the hardest and da-da-da-da. Don't, like I said, don't be listening to everybody else. Do your own thing. But no, it's forever. So those are the steps and tips and average times through each phase of dating and hooking up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below how long you've been in each phase, or how long you've been in a casual dating phase, how long you've been in a talking phase, a dating phase, an engaged phase, or a married phase, you know, because some marriages do end up just being a phase. It's not something that we necessarily are proud of. Also, leave behind tips for other people who may be going through what you went through. Also, leave behind tips that may help other people get through what you've been through, or to understand red flags as to when they should be getting out of a phase or moving to the next phase. And that is it, guys, and as always, I will see you next video.